Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have had a couple of requests actually lately, to do a one and done eyeshadow video. I have done one of these in the past, but it's been years. So I do have some updated favorites. This is not gonna be a top 5 because I really don't have it narrowed down to that, but it's not gonna be too much more than that. I had mentioned in a video that I put up last week that I've really been liking going for like the either no eyeshadow or wash of color look lately. I just feel like it's very summer, it's very appropriate, it's very fresh looking, it's very wide awake looking. And so these specific shadows are ones that I have reached for the most to achieve that look. I do have a favorite and I will save that one for the end. But other than that, these are in no specific order. Obviously, shadow sticks are going to make their way into my list of one and done. I have talked about for ages how incredibly versatile, easy to work with, travel friendly, amazingly easy shadow sticks are to use. They just are. And they come in an array of colors. They come in an array of finishes. You can get like glittery ones, sheens, shimmery, matte. There is no end to what you can find when it comes to shadow sticks. I have 3 that I have been reaching for the most lately. However, if I have ever said that I love a shadow stick in the past, that has not changed. I have 2 full drawers, not big drawers, but like my vanity organizers. I have 2 drawers of that filled with nothing but shadow sticks, and I use them quite often. But again, these are the 3 that I seem to be using the most lately. This first one is from Sicily, so it's definitely gonna be the most expensive. That is a luxury brand for sure. And it is the Fido Eye Twist in the shade number 19. I think it's like Sunset or Sun something. I'm probably totally wrong, but I will put it down below. And it is a gorgeous peachy bronze shade. And so this is what I'm talking about with the different finishes. This is what I would consider a sheen finish, okay? It's not matte, you can see it catching the light, but it doesn't have any discernible flakes of glitter in it, so I wouldn't call it a shimmer or glitter either. It is just more of a satin finish eyeshadow stick. This is beautiful all over the lid, up in the crease, even smudged underneath. I love it, love it. This one I have been using a lot lately. This is the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick Color, which I've talked about Laura Mercier forever. Copper is still one of my very favorite shadow sticks of all time, and it's definitely the most repurchased one in my collection. But this I've been reaching for a lot, and it's called Metallic Taupe. And you're gonna see how that light catches that? That is the difference between a shimmer and a sheen. Because this Metallic Taupe is definitely more eye-catching when it comes to the shimmer aspect of it. And this one, I love using it with like some bronzer in the crease and maybe a little eyeliner smudged on top. But I also have been using it just by itself on the lid only, not putting anything in my crease, not putting anything under my eye. And it's just a feel-good look for me. Like I feel good and very confident with that look. For some reason, I don't know why. It's very easy, which is not a bad thing. And then finally, for a matte version, I love a matte darker shadow stick to use as a liner and kind of buff out. But I really like a lighter one, a more neutral one to just smudge all over my eye, up into my crease, not even need a brush, use my finger, and good to go. And the Jane Iredale in Saddle is my favorite for that right now. I have a separate one of these in my kit. I used it on a client yesterday and she adored her look. And all I did, so see that's matte. All I did was put Saddle all over her eye up into the crease. I popped a little bit of a shimmer shadow on the middle of her lid, smoked out some brown liner only on the outside of her eye, and she was good to go and she really liked it. So highly recommend all 3 of these. Definitely ones I have been picking up on repeat lately. Let's talk about a couple that are not in stick form, but more of a cream formula and in pots. And I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised by me talking about the Merit Solo Shadow in Vachetta. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but I used this nonstop when I first got it. And it's just a beautiful, maybe has a little bit of warmth to it, but really it's more neutral. Brown, bronze shade that it is matte. These will not budge. In fact, I'm about to take it off of my hand real quick after you get a good look at the shade, because if I don't, it's gonna be stuck on my hand in some form or fashion the rest of the day, no matter how many times I wash it, because once these set down, they're not going anywhere. I talked endlessly about needing other colors, wanting other colors, and I still do. I just never got around to getting them. But this one is just such an all-around beautiful, neutral, easy to wear shade that I had to include it in this because it is that good. And then another kind of much more drugstore affordable type of product in that same realm is the e.l.f. No Budge Cream Eyeshadows. I have 3 of these. I have actually been using 2 of them a lot lately, and I will take that Real Shimmer shade from the YSL number 200 quad, and I will tap that on top of it, and that's it. 2 products, and I am good to go. This one is probably gonna be, well, no, I was gonna say this one's gonna be comparable to Vachetta, but it's not. This is definitely more cool toned, almost gray undertone. Sand Dune, that's the name of this one. See how much, it's just a much more evident cool undertone. But similar to the Merit shadows in consistency, but maybe even a little creamier. This one is in Canyon, and it's probably my favorite out of the 3 that I have. Well, I say that, I haven't even used the 3. And you can see, I think from the finish of these, that they are definitely creamier in texture, but that's Canyon, beautiful. I have used both of these under the YSL shade in that quad, and it just looks like an elegant, difficult eye look, but it takes 2 seconds to do. And then this one I, again, have not used. It's called Golden Rays, and I honestly don't know why I got this. I think it looked a little different online than it did when it came in, because I don't know how that would look on my eyes. If you have the right undertone, it might be a good corrector for underneath your eyes, under concealer, but that's pretty orange. But I will use it. I may end up loving it. That's usually how it works. But those are the e.l.f. cream shadows. Again, a little bit creamier. I'm not gonna say they have the same longevity, although look, I'm trying to take this off with a makeup wipe, and you're still seeing, just for that small amount of time, the outline of that one. So, you know, the longevity's there. It's not going away. Okay, well, we're just gonna deal with that little outline, those little outlines, while we go on to the last product and favorite product. I really did not want to overwhelm y'all with all of these options. There are great options no matter what. And there are even great like single shadows that are good, powder versions all over. But when I do a wash of color, I really do tend to stick with creams or eyeshadow sticks or liquids or something of that nature. So not to say that you can't do this with other products and other formulas, but these are just my favorite. And I think probably if you have followed me for any amount of time, you can probably guess what this last one is. And it is the RMS Eye Lights. I have 3 or 5 of the RMS Eye Light shades. I will swatch all of them for you. And then I don't have any eyeshadow on. This is actually the same exact look that I used in my summer base video that went up last week. And I thought, well, this is a great time to show how I apply one of these because I don't have any shadow on to begin with. So let's start swatching, and then I'll decide which one I want to use. This one is called Moon Dust. These come with a ton of products. I don't envision myself ever being able to actually finish one of these, but if you are a minimalist and don't have a huge collection, you very possibly could. So that is Moon Dust. It's going to be the lightest of all these shades and very champagne and neutral champagne. There's not like a large gold undertone or anything like that. This one I think came in a limited edition set that I bought. So I'm not sure if you can buy it separate, but I wanted to show you anyways because I have it and I love it. If you are able to find it, this is called Luster. And this is more of a pink with a little bit of a gold shift to it. See how pretty that is? And then there is Sunbeam, which this was the first one that I got and got me hooked on it. And oh, what a Mandy color this is. Peachy goodness. I mean, it's like, I'm hoping you can even see the color because of how just blindingly gorgeous these catch the light. Next is Strobe, which is more of a taupey shade. It's got a, I don't know how to explain it other than taupe, cool toned taupe undertone. That's Strobe. And then finally, Supernova, which is definitely the darkest out of all of them. Perfect for an easy night out smoky eye. You don't even need liners with these. That is Supernova. So it's like a darker, more intense version of Strobe. So these are the shades. So pretty. I'm trying to decide which one I want to wear today. Maybe we'll mix a couple. I'll start out with Strobe. I have seen a few reviews on these saying that they're patchy and not easy to apply. I do feel like it takes a little bit of finesse, and some colors are going to be easier to apply than others. Some will not be patchy at all and go on very opaque just with your finger. I prefer to use a brush. This is a Wing Me number 9 brush. I honestly think I got it in like an Ipsy bag, but it's just a moderate density, large shadow brush. And again, I just find that they are easier to work with a brush. You need a very small amount of these. Inevitably, I always put too much, but definitely start out with a less is more approach when using these. So I just pick up some off my hand onto my brush, and then I will tap it onto my lid. If I sweep, then I am going to chance the patchiness to happen. When you tap and stipple like I do with the majority of my makeup, especially when applying it to my face, applies in a much more opaque fashion with no patchiness or streaking. Now these also can be built up. They're a little cooling on the lid, like I can feel them. But if you want to keep this as your wash of color, that's great. Or you could go in and tap a second layer on top. And it's at this point that I kind of take it up into the crease. I don't have any issues with these creasing throughout the day. I feel like once they set, they set. You can also use them as eyeshadow base if you want to put a powder eyeshadow on top of it. But I also don't have super oily eyelids. So if you are someone that does, I would definitely use a primer suited for oily eyelids first underneath. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of moon dust on the other side of the brush and tap that right in the middle. Just the gorgeous sheen these add to the lids and the ease of which you apply them. So the RMS are definitely my favorite out of all the ones that I spoke about, but all the ones that I spoke about are in high rotation. So I love them all, and I will have them all listed down below for you. Let us know what your favorite one and done eyeshadows are for a beautiful wash of color down in the comment section below. Let me know if you have any questions. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.